I'll just share my screen first. Okay, so Bria, thank you so much. Any questions that you have? Yeah.
No, I think I got it. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. So let me just share my screen for a second. Okay, so tell me something. Let's say that I have 9 to the power of 2. We all know that is 81. Now 9 to the power of minus 2. What is the value of this? Is it minus 81?
What is the question again?
So 9 to the power of, okay, you don't.
We don't see your screen, yeah.
Okay, yes. Share screen. Can you see my screen now?
I think one of the participants is still sharing the screen.
Oh, okay. Now it should work. Now.
Perfect.
Perfect.
I
Okay,
think it
so
is
this
0.333.
No, just 3. So 9 to the power of 2, that is 81. So Josh, what is 9 to the power of minus 2? 9 to the power of minus 2 essentially means find the square root of 9. It is Micah. It is not 1 over 81.
Yeah,
9,
sorry. It's
going
like
to be
0.01 something.
No, it would be the square root of 9, that is 3.
Are you talking about 9 to the power 1 by 2?
I'm talking about 9 to the power of 1 by 2. My bad. Yes. Shit. My bad. Sorry. 9 to the power of minus 2. What is 9 to the power of minus 2?
9 to the power minus 2 is 1 over 81.
Oh, right.
Yeah, because you're doing a negative.
Denominator thing. Okay.
Sorry, I was doing it. Yeah.
Yeah, my math is so good. Okay. Yeah, I'm wrong. It should be 1 over 81. So yes. So Josh, if you are going to have 2 if statements, one does handle for the positive number and one for the negative number, then you can convert the negative number into a positive number. Just use multiply it by -1 or something, and then perform the power operation, and then just output 1 divided by that.
Okay, I was just double checking. Awesome, thanks.
Yep. Yep. Okay. Perfect. Yep. Okay. So we have 2 more questions, but we don't have that much time left. So out of 27 and 31, Nicholas, somebody is trying to do 27. So question number 27, perfect. Let's do 27. Question number 27 is, yes. So you would ask the user for a number, and then essentially you would print out this pattern. This particular pattern is a pattern of dots and stars, where the first line would be 4 dots and 1 star, then 3 dots and 2 stars, 2 dots and 3 stars, and so on, all the way to 5 stars. So essentially, every row has 5 things printed, but every iteration you print 1 less dot and 1 more star. Right. So if you think about it, you would need some nested loops here. One loop to actually print out the dots, and one loop to actually handle printing out the stars. And you would have one external loop that does this entire thing for 5 times, or the number of times the user is going to do it. So Nicholas.
When I did it, I didn't do that exact pattern. I just did basically it laying out in a triangle. And I also didn't do a while loop, but I guess you can create it.
So let's see your code. And that is fun too.
Okay, so you have your integer number 1, and then you have their input, user's input, and then the number going in, and then basically this is it laying out the number, but into a triangle. So I don't have it exactly like the pattern in the example, and I didn't do a while loop, but I could make it into one. But basically, if you enter it, then it comes out to be the triangle, because the quotations for spaces, and then basically numbers diagonaling, but
Yes.
if you wanted it as the dot, basically you would just do the C out and then
star.
dot dot dot.
Mhm.
And
Yes, but
then-
see one thing, Nicholas, this is basically hard coding the solution, right? So this would always print out 6 rows, right? So in this scenario, yes, 6 or 5 or 6 rows, right? But we do not want that. What we want is given the user input. So let's say that the user gave the number 10. I want 10 rows of output with stars and maybe dots or spaces or something, but something like that. So in your case, let's take your particular example here. It does not matter what the user input is. It can be 1, it can be 10, it can be 2, but it would always print out the same triangle, but with 2s or 1s or that particular user number, correct?
Yeah.
Yes, but what we want is something like where our number of stars printed depends upon the user input. So if you look at that particular example in question number 27, you can see that the first line prints out 4 dots and then a star. That is basically the reason. The reason for that is the user gave 5. So we first print out 4 dots and 1 star. If the user gave the number 10, you would have printed 9 dots and 1 star in the initial. So it is user input dependent. It is not a hard coded output. It is a user dependent output
Oh, okay.
of what is required.
Okay.
Right. So would you be able to write it now?
So basically it's saying if they give an input, that's how many it's going to start out and then pyramid from that number.
Yes.
I'm not sure where to start for it, but.
Okay, let's do one thing. Since it is almost time today, let's do one thing. You guys can work on this problem for our next class and we will discuss it again, not a homework, just for you to practice. I will post the homework and let's end today's session and we will again continue on Wednesday with this problem. How does that sound? Tyler has done 27 as well. Okay, let's see your problem, solution, Tyler. Don't go everyone, we have a solution.
Okay, so I didn't use while loops, but I did use for loops just because to me they're a bit easier to process.
For this problem, yes. So first example, explain your code to us.
All right, so first it asks for the number of rows the user would like and reads in their response. And then it makes an integer for the for loop that will keep going until it reaches the amount of rows that the user asks for.
Perfect.
And then it would find the spaces based on what row it is, minus how many have already been completed, minus 1 to get the first one started.
Exactly. So this would make it, if the number is 5, this would make it spaces start with 4.
And then after that, it would print the stars
in the other way around, yes.
depending on what row it's at as well.
Perfect.
So whenever we go into debug, it prints out. There's
show us your screen. I mean, we just see your Visual Studio thing.
1 second. There we go.
Perfect. So if you give the number 10, it first prints out 9 dots, then 1 star, and it follows all the way to 10 stars. Right. So do one thing, copy and paste your code in the chat window so that the students can actually look into this code.
I have to stop share for that.
Yeah. So this problem here that Tyler just pasted on the chat window. This problem here was the most complicated problem in our entire set of problems here. The last problem number 31 is quite simple, but I want you guys to go over this code and let me know in next class if you feel that this is a bit too complicated or still don't understand. Okay. Perfect. So I will post a homework tomorrow and we will have a quiz on Wednesday, and I will also post the sessions for that quiz. I mean the required sessions for that quiz by today so that you can prepare. So yeah, I guess that's it. Any questions? The homework is sessions, right? Well, the homework is not, what do you mean? Homework is not viewing the sessions. The homework is going to be a separate homework that would ask you to submit a particular piece of code. Perfect. Is the quiz going to be over the homework or the practice problem? The quiz is going to cover everything up to session 7. It is going to be a quiz similar to our last practice quiz. It will be multiple choice questions, 3 to 5 questions for 5 to 10 minutes, and then just answer those things. Maybe now this would, since we have already covered conditional statements and things like that, it would include things like if conditions and switch cases and loops and conditional operators and things like that. Yes, you should watch session 6 and 7 by next class. Quiz covers through session 7, yes. Thank you.
Sir, the blacks is back. Yes, sir, the blacks is back.
Pardon? Yes, homework is due next week. Yes, exactly, Jay. Yes, before you all leave, please take note of Sailesh's SI session as well. Thank you.
Right.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor. See you next
Thank you,
class.
Sailesh. See you next class.